Hello, my name is Ileana Hollenbeck, and my final project is on corporate strategies and sustainability in the packaging industry, a linguistic assessment applying experts' theory. So, this matters because the packaging industry is attempting to become more sustainable while still making enough profit. Companies over the years have been comparing business profitability and environment/social care. This academic journal helps represent the opinions of different companies in relation to switching over to more sustainable products to help better our environment for future generations. In order to do this, 63 companies in Mexico were given a survey to determine their opinions on business sustainability and strategic management. So, the purpose of this article was to gather the opinions of experts from different sectors of Mexico's packaging industry and how they view sustainability. Their perspectives of the four groups, which are wood, plastic, cardboard, and textile/glass/metal, are then compared. In order to analyze the similarities and differences in attitudes towards the study, Experton's theory is used. It's revealed that some groups prioritize environmental responsibility, while others are more concerned with the cost of being more sustainable. The goal of this article would be to ultimately identify what will influence different companies to become more sustainable and adopt eco-friendly materials, reduce costs, and comply with environmental regulations. Some problems with packaging are rising global consumption and industrial production has put pressure on natural resources, and packaging contributes to this because it uses materials, energy, and large-scale manufacturing. Storing, handling, and transporting packaging generates a significant amount of waste, which goes along with the pollution that is a problem in our world today. Packaging that comes into contact with food cannot be recycled, which also increases waste while limiting the use of recycled materials. Ecological materials are expensive, which can make companies hesitant to make the switch over to more sustainable materials. Some companies do not have the technology needed to make packaging more sustainable because their profits may be used elsewhere than upgrading technology. There is skepticism on how much sustainable packaging would actually help pollution, and the progress is slow due to differing priorities within companies. So, the researchers in this academic journal gathered expert opinions from four sectors of the packaging industry. They used Experton theory to compare those opinions mathematically and identified where they agreed and disagreed about sustainability and strategic management. So some of the key findings are the researchers saw that groups 1 and 3 had similar opinions and groups 2 and 4 had similar opinions. So groups 1 and 3 were the most supportive out of the groups of ecological materials, and they were more willing to adopt more sustainable behaviors, even though it would be more costly to their company. On the other hand, groups 2 and 4, they were more interested in technological solutions than the pollution, and they prioritized reducing production costs over sustainability. So some pros and cons of sustainability would be, pros are it reduces pollution, it improves how the community perceives the company, it can encourage innovations and helps the environment in the long run, improving the lives of generations that follow us. The cons would be it is more pricey, so it's higher production costs, which can also be higher costs for the consumers to pay to compensate for that. New technology would be needed, which can also go again with consumers needing to pay more so the company can make more to afford the new technology. There's limitations in recycled materials, such as materials that come in contact with food. And some companies just altogether lack the motivation needed for this change. So, in relation to the real world, companies must all agree to balance cost and sustainability, not just prioritize one or the other. Government regulations matter because all industries must trust them, and as of right now, many companies are still skeptical of how much the regulations are really helping our environment. Yes, newer technology helps, but it is not the only solution, and consumers typically prefer green products. So, in my community specifically, sustainability is important to me because pollution is a big problem. No one wants to live in a world of waste, so becoming more sustainable throughout our industries is very helpful to our environment. We should be working towards keeping Earth habitable for our future generations, and in order to do that, we need to switch to more eco-friendly products while balancing the cost of them so they are affordable to the majority of the population. Companies should care about the future generations because they're who will be funding these companies one day. So, my proposal that came from reading this academic journal would be, I think there should be some kind of national policy that forces all packaging products to be made from sustainable materials that can be recycled. This can fix the disagreements seen in the companies throughout their method and conclusion because there's a sense of national consistency. Something else that could be helpful is providing the funding to the companies that need to upgrade their products and technology in order to become more sustainable. This proposal ensures that sustainable products don't need to be such a big expense to companies, and there's a constant flow of recycled packaging in a nation. In conclusion, this study helped researchers better understand how different materials affect decisions and what incentives will motivate different companies to become more sustainable. Companies need balanced strategies. Even though experts disagree, they still see sustainability as important to some degree. And packaging industry plays a big role in sustainability because of the materials that they use and how they can not necessarily easily, but there is a solution for those products to be more sustainable that will help our waste problem, pollution, and just not so eco-friendly system that we have in place right now. So thank you so much for listening to my proposal on this scientific journal.